namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Kṛṣṇāya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopakumaraya govindaya namo namaha. Namah pankajanabhaya namah pankajamaline namah pankajanetraya namaste pankajangraye. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad-gītā As It Is, Chapter 2, entitled Contents of the Gita Summarized. Reading from text 46 through text 50. Text 46. Yāvān artha uda-pāne sarvataḥ samplutodake tāvān sarveṣu vedeṣu brāhmaṇasya vijānataḥ. Translation. All purposes served by a well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Text 47. Karmaṇyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhur ma te sangostva karmani. Translation. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Text 48. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samabhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Translation. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Text 49. Durena hi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhau sharanam anvichcha kripana phalahetava. Translation. O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. Text 50. Buddhi yukto jayatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrite tasmad yogaya yujyasva yoga karma sukaushalam. Translation: a man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad actions, even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swaminiti Namine Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaurakatha Dhamadaya Nagara Gramatarine Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Very deep verses Krishna is talking over here. The first verse we read, very practical one. Krishna is saying that all purposes that are served by a small reservoir of water, like a small well, can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind the Vedas. Very simple thing explained in a very deep way. Krishna is doing that here. You see, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary to this particular verse, he says that especially in India, we get to see that there are these small reservoirs of water, like every little village or a tribe, they would have this well, or a small reservoir of river from where they would get all their water supplies, for washing their clothes, for cleaning their utensils. And there would be a separate reservoir of water, like a hand pump, which would be for the drinking purpose. And even these reservoir of water, like small reservoir of water, would be also for the purpose of bathing. So all these activities, however, it can be performed simultaneously, like, say, for example, if you see in India, especially I'm telling this because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that this kind of scenario is mostly seen in small towns or small villages. So what happens is that when a person is, sitting around a well, either they are collecting drinking water from the well, or if everyone is, washing their clothes, then everyone comes and washes their clothes. And they also, if everyone is washing the utensils, then the entire tribe comes together. They do the same thing at the same time. Or same activities, like if the women are washing the clothes, then the men sit and take a bath, things like this. But if there is a bigger reservoir of water, then all of these activities can go on simultaneously. They don't have to wait for their chance. They don't have to wait for one person to finish up and then the other comes. Like 100 people can take their bath at the same time. They don't have to wait in queue. They don't have to wait in line. So that's what is the purpose that is saying that where there is a source of fresh water, which is available, we do not need to go from well to well. We do not need to go from one place to other, or we do not need to stand in line to fulfill our purpose of, using that particular water. Similarly, one who knows the purpose of the Vedas, what is the purpose of the Vedas, then they don't need to really study in deep each and every aspect of the Veda. That is the point that is being told here. That if we know, vedeṣu sarver ahameva vedya, if we know this particular line, that the purpose for knowing the Vedas is to know the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa, that he is the one that is needed to be known through all of these study of the Vedas, and that if we can read the cream or the essence of the Vedas, which has been very beautifully given to us by our Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, to whom we are eternally indebted, because if not for Srila Prabhupada, then we would literally have to go through each and every line of the Veda. Imagine that we have to go from well to find out which is the best drinking water, but rather there is a person who comes and says, this is the best place you can drink the water from. It is proved, it is scientific, all tests, all research has been done. No one has died after drinking this water. You will be nourished after drinking this water. Then everyone will run to that well to get the water. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada, he has taken the essence of all the Vedas and he has presented it to us in the form of Srimad Bhagavad-gītā, in the form of the Srimad Bhagavatam. With his beautiful, elaborate and deep purports, Srila Prabhupada has revealed to all of us what the Vedas are actually saying. The Vedas are huge. They are like ocean. We will be lost at sea. If there's no, the lighthouse, the purpose of the lighthouse is to guide the ships that are lost at the sea. If there's water all around us, we tend to get lost. That's what happens to ships. And the purpose of the lighthouse is that to guide the ships to the shore, to tell the ships that yes, there is a shore nearby. So when the ships, they see the lights blinking from the lighthouse, they follow that light and they no longer remain lost at sea. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad-gītā, and all the books that Srila Prabhupada has given us is like that lighthouse. We are in this material ocean and we are completely lost here in this material ocean. And this lighthouse of the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Srimad Bhagavad-gītā are our only saving grace. That because of these, we are saved and we know how to find our way back to the shore, back to the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa, back to the spiritual world. This is the lighthouse that Kṛṣṇa is giving us, Srila Prabhupada is giving us by their causeless mercy. And then, of course, we read this most famous, most illustrious verse of the Bhagavad-gītā, karmanyeva adhikaraste, ma phaleshu kadachana. This verse is even recited by the atheists. Those who don't believe in God, even they recite this particular verse. And they say that you should just do your prescribed duty. That don't, they actually say that you should not do any kind of spiritual practice or you should not do anything else other than your prescribed duty. That is not what Kṛṣṇa is saying. That is not what is the actual understanding of this particular verse. Karmanyeva adhikaraste. Ma phaleshu. They just focus on this first line. Karmanyeva adhikaraste. That perform your prescribed duties with all attachment. But the second line says that perform your prescribed duties, but do not be entitled to the fruits of your action. Be detached from the results of your activities. That part they very easily skip. Very conveniently they skip that part. And they say that yes, you have to perform your prescribed duty, but to what end? What is the purpose of performing our prescribed duty? Our prescribed duty should be performed but for the pleasure of Kṛṣṇa. That is the real purpose of performing our prescribed duty. That when we perform our prescribed duty for the pleasure and for the satisfaction of Kṛṣṇa, then that is the perfection of performing our prescribed duty. When we do our best and leave the rest to Kṛṣṇa. But we don't generally do that. That's not what the formula is in the material world. The material world, the formula is do your best and don't rest till you get the best. That is the formula for material achievements. But what is the actual formula for success? The formula is do your best and leave the rest to Kṛṣṇa. That is the formula. That is how Kṛṣṇa is wanting to train Arjuna. That, my dear Arjuna, you're a Kshatriya. You have to fight. But you fight. But don't be dependent on your results. Don't think that, oh, if I kill my relatives, what's going to happen to me? How will I enjoy? Who will see me enjoying? This is a very, very, a mentality that our happiness is actually not the way we measure our happiness is not really by how much happiness we actually are getting. It is almost by how much others are making us feel that, yes, we are happy. Or how much we are seeing that how much is others getting, and in relation to them, we are, determining whether we can be happy or not. There's a very beautiful story in this regard. Very funny story, but it has a huge learning. The story is that once there was a man. He prayed to God. And when he prayed to God, he said, my dear Lord, please, please fulfill my desire. Fulfill my desire. So God was very pleased with his, heartfelt appeal. So God appeared in front of this man. And this man said, my dear Lord, you have come. You have come to fulfill my desire. And the Lord said, yes, ask, what do you want? So the man said, my dear Lord, please, whatever I desire, may that become true. May I get whatever I desire. So, the Lord said, Tathastu, may you get whatever you desire. And I have a condition. However, I have a condition. So the man said, yeah, as long as I get what I want, you're already said Tathastu to that. So what is your condition? So then the Lord said, whatever you will desire, you will get that, but your neighbor will get double of that. Is that okay? So then the man said, yes, my dear Lord, as long as I'm getting what I want, I'm perfectly okay. I don't care really what my neighbor gets. I don't really care about that. So then the Lord again said, Tathastu, and he went. The Lord disappeared from there. And then this man made his first wish. He said, I wish I had a 4-story bungalow. Lo and behold, immediately there was a boom, 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 4-story bungalow standing in front of his eyes. So this man was very happy, very, very happy. And as he was about to enter into his 4-story bungalow, he was, so happy. He was about to enter. He just looked to his right and he saw that his neighbor was entering an 8-story bungalow. He saw that his neighbor was entering an 8-story bungalow and he said, oh, I have 4. My neighbor has 8. Oh, it's okay. He was a little sad, but somehow he entered. He did his Griha Pravesh. And then second desire, he said, I wish I had 3 Rolls-Royce cars. Most expensive car. I don't know which one is, but, maybe Mercedes-Benz or, Rolls-Royce or Ferraris, whatever, whatever is the best cars. He desired those. Can I have 3 of those best, world best cars? So boom, 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 immediately in front of his house, these luxurious cars were parked. And he was about to go out into the car park and he was about to open the door and enter into his luxurious car. And he saw on his right, he looked, and his neighbor had 6 luxurious cars. And it hurt him like as if somebody had put a nail in his heart. He was thinking, oh no, my neighbor, he got 6. I got only 3. Oh, But I can't ask. If I ask for 6, then he'll get 12. No, that's not good. That's not good. So then he said, okay, my third condition, my third, desire is that, my Lord, you make me blind with one eye. Let me become blind in one eye. So the man became blind in one eye. He came outside his lawn, and he looked to his right with his one eye, and he saw that his neighbor was going like this. He was blind in both the eyes. And then he was happy. This man became happy as soon as he saw that his neighbors, both of his eyes were gone. So what was really the definition of happiness for this man? He could have been happy with his 4-story building, with his 3 luxurious cars. He could have been happy. But the definition of his happiness was measured by how much his neighbor has. That was the definition of his happiness. So that's not how that is exactly how material happiness is. That it is always in relation to others. We don't count the blessings that we have. We always look, what do they have? How much do they have? And our happiness is measured by others' distress or others' happiness. If others are in distress, we are very happy. If others are happy, we are very sad. That is material life. So Arjuna, he almost had not this degraded of a sense of happiness, but he did want to, in the first chapter, Arjuna did reveal to Kṛṣṇa that when I win an unrivaled kingdom on this earth, who will I share it with? If my relatives, for whom I am getting all of these, kingdom, if they are not there, with who will I share? With who will I enjoy? Because our definition of enjoyment is also when people see the opulence that we have, people come and glorify. Oh, you have so nice. Oh, you are so nice. Oh, look at the kind of thing that you have. Look at the kind of opulences that you have. When people say these things, it boosts our ego. It satisfies our ego. It nourishes our ego. So to some extent, Arjuna had this mentality. So Kṛṣṇa is destroying that thought within Arjuna, that seed of a thought. In material life, material world actually has this in its prominence, but in Arjuna, this was just a little shade that was there. And Arjuna is trying to destroy that very shade of this kind of mentality by telling to Arjuna, that Kṛṣṇa is telling to Arjuna that, my dear Arjuna, you should not have this kind of mentality. That don't think of the result of who will you enjoy this unrivaled kingdom with. Don't have such things. Just fight for the sake of fighting. That's all I want to tell you, my dear Arjuna. So Kṛṣṇa is saying that you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your action. Never consider yourself the doer or the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So Kṛṣṇa is saying here that never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities. That, okay, this has happened, it is because of me. Never think like that. Generally, what happens in us is that anything good that happens, we always are hungry to take the credit. Immediately, yes, it's because of me. Oh, you don't know? This thing, it is actually successful because of me. This thing, I did it. If you don't know, you better know that I did this. It's because of my effort that this has happened. We are so hungry for credit. But as soon as something goes wrong, no one wants to take the blame or the credit for the wrongs that happen in anyone's life. We either blame God, that why are you doing this to me? We either blame anybody else other than ourselves. Everybody else is wrong for all the wrongs that is happening, and not me. Anything good that happens, that I am responsible. Anything bad that happens, it's either God or somebody else. It's not me. That is material mentality, horrible mentality. Spiritual world, spiritual thought is exactly the opposite. Spiritual thought is that when something good happens to us, we immediately pass on the credit to our Guru Vargas, that it is because of them that something good is happening to us. It is because of them. It is their credit. But if anything bad is happening, it's because of me. That is because of me. Because I am such a fallen, wretched person. That is why this is happening to me. I deserve worse than this, but Kṛṣṇa, you are so kind. You're giving me only a tiny fraction of what I actually deserve. Thank you, O merciful Kṛṣṇa, for just giving me a token of what I actually deserve. That is the mentality, or that is the consciousness of a spiritual person. So it's completely opposite. So text 48, Krishna is saying to Arjuna that perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So here, when we don't perform our activities while being attached to the results, we get bound by the work. We get karma. If we are doing good work, then we get good karma. If we are doing bad work, then we get bad karma. We get bound by the laws of nature. But if we are performing our prescribed duty and not taking the result, we are offering the result to Kṛṣṇa, then that is akarma. So Kṛṣṇa here in this verses from text 48 through 50, he is giving a brief touch upon on the summary, like he is just giving little highlights from karma yoga. That how should we perform our activities in such a way that we don't get any kind of reaction to it. That is what Kṛṣṇa is saying here. And Kṛṣṇa is addressing Arjuna as Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya means one who is the conqueror of all wealth. That is Dhananjaya. It's one of the celebrated names of Arjuna. That he's saying that keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service. And in that consciousness, surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. So Kṛṣṇa from here, he has jumped straight to text chapter 12, to devotional service. That how the performance of bhakti yoga is actually taking us above and beyond any kind of level of karma, dhyana, ashtanga, all the yoga levels. It's taking us beyond that, and it is establishing us in the highest platform of bhakti, devotional service. Kṛṣṇa is talking about here. And text 50, Kṛṣṇa is going on to explain a little more detail about devotional service. He's saying that a man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad actions, even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. Kṛṣṇa is making it very, very clear. No doubt about it, that anybody who performs devotional service, perfection is guaranteed in this very lifetime. So amazing. You know, no one can give such a guarantee, but Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is giving this guarantee. That if we can simply be on the path of devotional service, we can get rid of both our good as well as our bad karmas. Our slate can be wiped clean. Just imagine. What a guarantee Kṛṣṇa is giving here. This is a very, very important verse. Text 50 is a very important verse of the Bhagavad Gita, where Kṛṣṇa is giving the guarantee that if we perform devotional service, then we will achieve perfection in this very lifetime. It is possible. And based on this particular verse, Srila Prabhupada has given us the assurance that anybody, what is the definition of devotional service? According to this verse, Krishna is saying, any man who is engaged in devotional service can rid himself of both good and bad karmas and achieve perfection in this very lifetime. So devotional service, as is described by Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada very clearly says, what is devotional service? Devotional service is chanting 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and following the 4 regulative principles and sharing these teachings of the Bhagavad Gita with whosoever we come in touch with. Namaruchi, Vaishnava Seva, Jivadaya. These 3 principles is what Srila Prabhupada has described devotional service to be. Namaruchi. Namaruchi is to develop a taste for chanting the holy names of Krishna. Vaishnava Seva, rendering devotional service for the pleasure of the Vaishnavas, for the pleasure of Krishna. That is the second aspect. The third is Jivadaya, compassion to all living entities. And how can we really be compassionate to all living entities? By giving them Krishna, by showing them what we have found, the way back home, back to Godhead, the ticket back home, back to Godhead. By sharing that ticket with everyone, that is the way we show our Jivadaya. We perform Jivadaya. So this is the aspects of devotional service that Srila Prabhupada stressed, that anybody who has Namaruchi, Vaishnava Seva, and Jivadaya, these 3 things are the primary aspects of devotional service. If we can just do this, then our lives will be perfect and we can go back home, back to Godhead in eternal service to Krishna and be eternally blissful and happy and be re-established in our original position as the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Krishna. So we'll end here. If there's any questions, comments, or reflections, we can take that now. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for the beautiful class.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the beautiful class, Mataji. Very nice points that I could learn today. And very nice story, Mataji. Thank you so much for telling that story. Usually we try to compare with other people. That's just the nature. So how do we stop, Mataji? How do we think? I mean, what can we do that for remove that thing, Mataji?
Well, see that comparing nature will be there in our initial stages, but we must therefore try to see the good in others. Not develop the fly-like mentality, but try to develop the honeybee mentality. Not try to be envious of others, not try to find faults with others, not try to, see that what, others have and I don't have. Get rid of the comparison. Try to only see good in others. That is how, we will be able to see the good in others and we will overcome this kind of comparative mentality. And in the beginning, it is really difficult to do that. But, a practical way to do that is that whenever we try to find faults with others, let us try to glorify them. With all our heart, try to find 2 good qualities that person has. When we try to see some good in others, Krishna is extremely pleased with that kind of service. And he, as the Paramatma in our heart, he gives us purification ultimately. So that is very pleasing to Kṛṣṇa. So these kind of anarthas, they can be easily gone when we show our genuine way that we want to reform. We want to show to Kṛṣṇa that we want to change. And when we show that in the form of our actions, then Kṛṣṇa, he then helps as the Paramatma in our heart. So does that answer your question?
Yes, Mataji, thank you so much for answering it very nicely, Mataji. Your answers are always like fulfill of the question. No, even it's like it satisfies us very nicely, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, do anybody has any more questions or comments for Mataji? Please ask. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Mataji, Dhanavas Pranam. This is Shyamala Gopika, Mataji.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
I just want to thank you for your wonderful class in both like Bhagavad Gita and also Bhagavad Gita. So it was very nicely explained. It was very clear, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shyamala Gopika. It's wonderful to have your association. Thank you so much. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
We are actually want to be fortunate to get your association and all the devotees association. And especially today in Gaur Katha, I want to say personally, I really felt very, very like clearing in Katha. So I realized I was so happy. I was crying. I was smiling so much and hearing all the Kathas. It was very nicely you have narrated. Thank you so much, Mataji, for that.
Thank you. I'm just repeating the words of our Guru Maharaj. That's all I'm doing. Thank you.
Is there anybody having any more questions or comments for Mataji? Okay. I just want to announce one thing. Tomorrow we have Srimad Bhagavatam class in Hindi. That is a different conference call number. I'm going to share it. Please do join that class also. And we have the live classes going on YouTube and Facebook on Mataji's page. Please do like them, share with your friends. Okay. Thank you so much for joining, and please bless us with your session tomorrow's class too. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Mataji. Sorry, Mataji, I was in YouTube.
Yes, Anjana Gopika Mataji.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam.
Mataji. Mataji, I just wanted to ask a question. That's why I'm joining.
Yes. Yes, please.
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, you were telling about the credit. Not supposed to take credit, but we are so careful not to take any credit. We want to give all the credit Vaishnavas and Guru Maharaj. But sometimes it overcomes that kind of mentality, So every time we have so much that kind of mentality. Even though we are so much careful, but sometimes it overcomes Mataji. We are thinking the controller like that. Yeah, how we can read up, Mataji?
See, the thing is that I always like to give this one analogy, and I will keep asking you some questions. You keep answering them, okay? So, imagine that you are climbing, going up a hill. How difficult is it to go up a hill? To walk up a hill. It is difficult, right?
Yes.
Now imagine that when you're walking up the hill, it is very sunny, it's very hot, and you're perspiring. It's very, very challenging when you are walking up the hill. How difficult is it going to be for you?
Yes, Mataji.
Difficult, right? Very difficult. Now imagine the next scenario, that not only you are walking up, But everybody else is walking down. They're actually running down, and you are the only one who is going up. How difficult will that be?
I think, yeah.
It'll be extremely difficult, extremely difficult. But that is our situation. When we are trying to perform devotional service to Krishna, everyone in the material world is going downhill. And we are going against the current and we are trying to walk uphill. So therefore it is said that we need some association. Now imagine the situation where there are 4 or 5 of us who are holding each other's hand, who are holding your hand, and we are walking up together. Is this situation better?
Yes, Mataji.
It is better, right? Now imagine another situation that there is a person who is already on top of the hill, who throws a rope which we are tying to our waist, and holding that rope we are walking up. How easy is that going to be? Much more easy, right? We are not only having the support coming from up, we are having each other's support when we are walking up also, right? So when we do that, then that is the beauty of the Sangha of devotees. So therefore, if we try to do devotional service by ourselves, it is very, very challenging, like the previous scenarios that I was giving you. But when we perform devotional service in the association of devotees, holding each other's hands, even if there is a big crowd coming down, we will still be okay. And especially when we can hold on to the mercy coming down from our Guru Vargas and holding on to that rope of mercy, tying it around our waist and, walking with that rope attached to us of the mercy of the spiritual master who is already at the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa, then that makes it so much more easy. But we have to keep walking. It's not that, okay, we walked enough yesterday and we will reach the top of the mountain in one day. It's not possible. We have to keep walking. We have to keep walking. We have to keep holding on to our friends. We have to keep holding on to the lotus feet of the devotees. We have to keep holding on to the mercy coming down from our spiritual masters. We have to hold on to all of that and keep doing this practice every day till we reach the top of the hill. And that is sadhana bhakti. So sadhana bhakti is not that, because one day we had a very good climb, the next day, will be very good also. Next day, the weather can be really bad. It can be very much rainy. So the hill can become very slippery. We will slip and fall also. But then the other friends, they will pull us back. They will help us come back. So it's not an easy thing. That yes, sometimes these kind of anarthas, they do come up. But at the same time, if we keep trying, if we keep telling our mind, if we keep associating with devotees who are having such mood, who are having such mentality that they are offering everything for the service of Guru and Kṛṣṇa, that they are having this pure mentality, they are trying to cultivate this pure mentality that everything belongs to Guru and Kṛṣṇa, that they are only seeing the good in everybody else. By associating with such devotees, even one day our consciousness can also become like that. So with that hope and with that aspiration, we should keep practicing every day. We should keep doing that. And one day we will realize that, now we have reached the top of the hill. We have reached the lotus feet of our spiritual masters. We are there with Kṛṣṇa. So that is how devotional service and the life of a devotee is. So does that answer your question?
Beautiful, Mataji. It's very, very good instruction. Very hopeful, Mataji, with all the God sister and with you and all the Mataji. So nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Any more questions?
Okay, if there are no more questions or comments for Mataji, let's end the call here.
Your conference recording has
so much,
stopped.
Kalasudha Mataji, for giving such a beautiful class. We are very grateful to you. Let us offer obeisances to Mataji and all the Vaishnavas who are there on the call. Vancha kalpatarobhyasya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all
Thank you,
so
Mataji.
much. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Mataji, she was pretending that one when you told Gaurila that one, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like, he was putting in the water